We're here with Maddie Poppe. Welcome to San Francisco.
Thank you.
Season 16 American Idol winner. Happens to be visiting the Bay Area during a heat wave, so you're welcome.
Yes, it was the hotel room. It was kind of hard to sleep. It's so hard to sleep when you're sweating.
When you're hot, yeah.
Does the hotel not have AC?
Well, here's the thing. It was pumped all the way up, but also apparently our hotel was haunted. So
What?
On top of that, I was scared. I was like, I need to be under the covers to protect myself from the ghosts.
Who told you it was haunted?
But also, the people, I knew it was haunted as soon as I saw it.
You could tell?
But the guy at the front desk.
Can we say what we can't? Can we say what hotel it was?
I don't want her to get stalked.
Okay, I don't either.
She's already getting stalked by the
Starts
dead.
with a WH.
Well, now that we have two ghost chasers in the room.
I love anything with ghosts, so I'm right there with you. I'm scared of it, but I watch all the ghost shows
Me
on
too.
TV. You do?
Yes.
Ghost Adventures. Now Jack Osborne has a show. Like, they're all over the
I
place.
love all the ghosts, but I'm so scared of it.
Me too.
I could never pursue it myself.
Oh, no, God, no. Not at all. Marcus doesn't believe. He's a cynic.
But I'm also the guy that I can't watch scary movies. I can't even watch the previews. There's some new crazy haunted doll movie coming out.
Oh, forget it.
Oh, how many haunted doll movies have there been, though?
But
I know.
they're showing the previews during the Warrior game. Like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, it's really sad when my 5-year-old daughter will power through, but Daddy's got to close his eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Is this hot to you though? Like, you grew up in Iowa.
Yeah.
Is this considered warm?
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Dude, it was
kind of
96 in San Francisco yesterday. And to us, that's Armageddon. Like, that's the end of the world.
We're melting.
But we don't have the extreme lows that you've grown up with.
Yeah, we have extremes in every season. Is like crazy, like 2 feet of snow, and then it'll be like -20.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like 90 degrees. It's crazy.
I know. Yeah. So that's probably weird too, because you kind of get used to the crazy. And then for American Idol, you're in Los Angeles, which I don't actually know if there's any climate in Los Angeles. Is it mostly sunny? This year's been really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think the weather's kind of perfect in LA.
Yeah.
Because it's never too hot, but it's never too cold.
I think they complain more than we do.
They do, for sure.
You know,
Really?
We have a 25 degree sweep where if it gets below 60, we complain. If it gets above 75, we complain. In LA, it's like 10 degrees. They're 60 to 70. Otherwise, it's the end of days.
That's true.
How has the journey been? You have the album now. It's called Whirlwind. The first single is called Made You Miss, and I listened to it. There's a lot of power in your voice.
Thank you.
And it's really fun to listen to. But like, are you channeling somebody? Did you have to learn to sing that way, or would this come naturally?
Oh man, that's a good question. If I'm being totally honest, though, I just listened to the demo and was like, I guess I got to sing it that way.
The best answer ever.
I mean, I don't know what to say.
You know how some people like have a gift and then it just takes over? Like, I took a yoga class last week and the teacher was really quiet, but during the class, she goes, I don't know where this thing comes from, but I said, I think that's like your inner power, but so is there something that kind of just takes over when you sing? Or are you just so used to it that it's just like, yeah, this is just who I am?
I feel like I should have really good answers.
Oh God, trust
fine.
me.
But I don't.
Any answer is a good answer.
I
Whatever your
just
true
kinda,
experience
like,
is.
I was just telling him this morning, I am like not a technical singer. Like, I was never classically trained. I can't read music. I never really learned like proper warm-up techniques. When I was on Idol, I was like chugging a freaking quart of whole milk before I'd go on stage.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
To be so young.
The diet, the diet things, you're not supposed to have dairy and
Right.
stuff.
You're rebellious.
I was just like, you know what? I just can't. I just don't want to follow the rules. And
I actually love that. We talk about that a lot. Like, you always feel intimidated by how everyone else is doing it. And you're like, why can't we just do our own thing and admit that some of us just are going to, you went your own way.
That's so true. Yeah. Yeah. I think about that a lot.
What is it like? Because you won the show, but what is it like watching it compared to being in it? Because I can't imagine the pressure, or maybe like, did you have like, you got starstruck by anyone?
Yeah. Watching it this season, I was like, I don't know how they do that. I don't know how I did that. watching it again, I'm like, I could never do that again.
Really?
I could never do it
The
again.
nerves, you mean, or
Yeah, I guess when you're on the show, you don't really even realize what you're going through. You don't realize, oh, I'm on American Idol right now, and
Yeah.
this is a huge deal, and millions of people are watching. You're just kind of going out there and doing your thing. At least that was the way it was for me, but I couldn't do it again.
Yeah.
What's the most grueling thing about it?
Oh, I mean, probably for live shows was when, of course, when your friends get sent home, that was really hard, because we all became so close. And we're all from different parts of the country, so we didn't know when we'd see each other again. But I would say when I would decide not to play the guitar and I would have to move around, and I didn't know ever what to do with my body.
You didn't have any dance moves. You're like me.
No,
dance moves.
I'm not good at being without my guitar. And I remember we were singing with BB Rexa, and it was the top 3 and her, and I just didn't know what to do. It got to the point. Now I'm not. This isn't a sob story, but I had a breakdown on stage, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And she pulled me aside, and she was really sweet, and she's like, listen, you can do this. I don't know. She just gave me some really good advice, but I don't know why it just got to me so much. I was like, how are the other people doing this? I don't know what to do with my body if I don't have my guitar,
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
That's scary. Well,
was.
it's probably such a big part of you.
Yeah.
And maybe it felt more naked, more exposed.
yeah, and you're afraid, how awkward am I looking? Everyone's judging you.
God, I know I would be on the blooper reel if I even tried. I don't even want to sing alone in my car. Like, I'm so grossed out by my own voice.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's scary. Putting yourself out there like you did is very brave, in my opinion.
Why do I feel like everybody starts that way? So I've seen a few bands from the start of the band, like for example, Coldplay. They were so boring. The first show that I saw was like 1,000 people.
Oh,
and
really?
my buddy was like, you have to come see this band. They're going to be the next big thing. This was like 2001.
Really?
And I stood there, and Chris Martin is doing Trouble or from the first album, and I'm just like trying to stay awake because they're so
Oh my God.
He's
My
just
My heart
standing
is hurting
there.
right now
And
when he says this.
why?
I don't know. I
Well,
like
because
Coldplay.
you know Coldplay like the Technicolor Dreamcoat World Tour in the stadium where he's leaping all over the place and he discovered yoga somewhere and energy drinks. Like, I know them from day one, and I'm sorry to single out Coldplay, but that's the biggest reminder that I have. But if you go see him now, almost 20 years later, they're amazing. He's like an Avenger at this point. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
my point is, I think you can kind of grow into that as you find your voice, you find your stage presence. I feel
Yeah.
like you can grow into
I
it.
hope
but
so. I hope so.
I feel on some level, do you consider yourself an old soul?
I would say I mean musically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of older stuff more than,
Such as?
I love like 90s stuff. Like I guess it's not like super old, but
we have to remember you are 21.
yeah.
Marcus,
So,
she's 21.
I know. I keep telling myself that.
so like Jewel, Alanis Morissette.
Have you got to meet anyone that you've grown up loving?
I met Kelly Clarkson.
That's awesome.
And
I've
that was
always
She's
wanted to
cool.
meet her.
Yeah.
She seems like the nicest person in the world.
She's like exactly what you would think she is, and that was like the best thing because
and how
when-
special, like the memory, like you want like first winner. That's so neat.
Yeah. I mean, they say like don't ever, meet your heroes because you might think of them one way, and then you meet them, and then you don't like them as much or something. And I can understand that has happened, but not with her.
It was
She's
perfect.
No,
so,
she's
so cool and like.
Did you get to
everything.
chat with the judges at all? Like, did you get to know them, or was it strictly like just business?
Yeah. I mean, they would talk to us backstage and stuff. And still, when I go back and visit, we talk, and sometimes Katy Perry DMs me, so that's really cool.
Oh my
She's
God,
cool
that is so
too.
neat.
She's like
Yeah.
one of the nicest people I've ever met.
She's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Kelly Clarkson have any advice for you as the first Idol winner? Did she take you aside or?
Well, she took me aside, and right away she said, "Are you okay? Are they taking care of you? Are
Yeah.
they being good to you?"
Yeah.
She was like she just wanted to make sure, that everything was going good, and it
That's
is.
like a good older sister or girl looking out for each other.
Totally. Yeah, but I can't really. I can't think of because she's such a normal person.
Sure.
She
Yeah.
doesn't even seem like
Totally.
she's like Kelly Clarkson. you know?
Yeah.
But when I was talking to her, I think I was just trying to be cool. Like,
Yeah.
You know, so I guess I don't even remember what we talked about, but we
Probably
talked
because it
for
just
a
felt
One of
so
those
normal,
moments.
you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
That's the best. I know your album is called Whirlwind, which is probably extremely appropriate given what you've been through. Is it weird post-show? Like, do you feel a different kind of pressure, or do you feel more freedom now? Like, what is it like after the show?
It's scary.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really scary because you're not guaranteed that airtime every Sunday night. You know, you don't have this. I mean, I still like have fans and stuff, but you don't have this like consistent
Exposure.
It's like
Yeah.
you don't have this American Idol like security blanket anymore. You have to go out.
It's like
there
leaving the
and-
nest.
Yeah, you have to like make it on your own, and you're kind of like, you know, when you're done with the show, you're.
Has it been
done
weird
with the show.
online? Because before you started the show, I'm sure you were performing a bunch, but because of the exposure, like, has that changed the way you interact with people online? Because you can only keep up with so much.
Oh yeah, like I mean, you got to be careful. Any little tiny thing you post or like.
Oh, we
or
talk about that
retweet.
all the time.
Any slight like a
spelling
like,
error.
well, like anything, you know, that people might think, you know, like
If you're liking the wrong thing or
Yeah,
retweeting the wrong
exactly.
thing
And-
or put an
but-
apostrophe in the wrong place.
Exactly.
Ask
They
Taylor
can save
Swift.
your Instagram story, even if you have erased it. If they have it, it's there.
I know, and everybody screen records everything and screenshots everything. But I do have an alias Facebook, so that's
Love
nice.
it.
I can still share memes that like I would only share with like my close
Oh, that's
friends.
good. Good for you.
So it's fun.
We've mentioned, I think, and I don't know if this is true, but I think it is, that Adele has a secret Twitter because she
Really?
likes to get drunk and drunk tweet.
She likes to troll
And
people.
her management said you can't be doing that, so she created a Twitter just so she could drunk tweet.
That's so
How
funny.
amazing is
It
she?
only gets awkward. So Kevin Durant, who plays for the Warriors, reportedly had the same thing where he had his normal verified Kevin Durant, and then he had this fake one, and he would troll people that were trolling him. And then there was one night he forgot to switch accounts.
Oh, that's my worst
So he
nightmare.
actually trolled them as his main account.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That would be my worst nightmare as well. I do enjoy like your Instagram stories.
Thank you.
Like, I legit want to know, are there tunnels under the Denver airport?
Oh my gosh. I mean, man, there's so many conspiracies, and when I pick up on one, I just get carried away.
Mm-hmm.
But the Denver airport, man, I've heard these rumors for so long, and then when we got there, every little thing I was just looking into. Like little noises I would hear and little, you know, paintings on the wall and stuff. And
Yeah.
people were giving me all this information, and I was like,
You were eating it up.
yeah. I love it. I mean, what do you think? What have you heard? What do you know?
I don't know much about that particular conspiracy theory. I haven't been to the Denver airport, but I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if there are tunnels under a lot of different places that we wouldn't even think about. Escape hatches and all these things.
I know. Can we trust anyone?
No,
No,
not at
you
all.
can't. And everyone is listening to everything you say.
At all times.
I know.
Facebook is listening.
That's so scary. Do you ever talk about something like one time I remember I was talking about a lampshade, and I needed to go buy a lampshade, and then I'm scrolling through Facebook and all these lampshade ads pop up.
Creepy, right?
What? I
Yeah.
know.
They already
I won't
own
even
us.
give Facebook my phone number. I'm like, nope.
They already have it.
You don't get.
They know.
don't. How do they? Well, whatever. I
I'm
still won't
saying.
give it to them. I'm playing hard to get until eventually, they know.
Tell me about where you grew up. Like, you grew up in Iowa.
Yeah.
Is your family still back there?
Yes.
Okay.
My family's
Population what?
about 1,500.
Okay.
Wow,
so
super
this
small
is like
town.
legit small town.
Yeah, I graduated with my total. I graduated with 22 kids in my entire
Wow.
senior class. So yeah, it's super small, but it was a great place to grow up. Like, of course, I didn't become cultured until I went out to LA and like was like, oh, this isn't just on.
But
TV.
that's quite a like slap in the face. That's like a huge difference. I don't know if this was true, but I read that Carrie Underwood kind of the same thing, growing up in the country. And when she's tried out for Idol, they said, "Have you seen any stars?" And she said, "Oh yeah, there's plenty of stars." And she was like looking up, like they were like actual stars in the sky. They're like, "No, we mean celebrities." But it's just not
Yeah.
her world. She didn't come from that.
I had heard she'd never been on a plane before Idol. Too.
Really?
She was really scared of flying or something. But yeah, man, you become.
It's a different life.
What was the first thing you saw in LA where you were like, whoa, mind blown?
That's a great question.
Like for me was coming to, so I grew up small town too. I grew up in this little cow town south of here called Salinas. Now it's still 100,000 people, but
Salinas,
it's
is that
cowboys.
like from the Janis Joplin song?
Potentially.
Bobby McGee?
I'm not cultured enough to even know that.
I think it is actually because
That's
she was
amazing
on her
that
way
you
to
know
the
that.
Monterey Pop Festival. But anyway, coming up here for a weekend to Berkeley and walking along Telegraph and seeing people like smoke weed, for example, and thinking to myself, you can't do that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's illegal. And then so the big takeaway for me was just because it's illegal doesn't mean people aren't doing it.
That's so true.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I remember smelling weed in California and being like, that's illegal.
That's bad.
And then I was like, wait a minute. We're in California.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird, right?
you know, but like in Iowa, if you ever smell anything like that,
Yeah.
like
Somebody's going to
Talk
jail.
of the town.
the helicopters are coming. the
Yeah.
SWAT teams
I'm
coming in.
telling you, that's how I grew up. Same
Yeah.
thing. Now, would that be the moment where you're like, my eyes are open, my mind is blown. I can't believe this is happening out in the open.
Yeah, and like
Was there anything else?
totally. I mean,
I wonder what your parents think. Like, are your parents or family like have they visited you out there, or were they worried about you?
yeah, they don't really like LA. I mean, I don't think they've been there enough. But I like it.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like it.
it's a beast, dude. Like you have to get used to it. It's a beast.
Yeah, it's
Traffic alone, but
Yeah.
everything else, it's a lot for people who
If
haven't.
I grew up small town, like I live in Half Moon Bay, it was like 20,000 people, about 25 miles south of here. Anytime I get off the coast, I get anxiety.
Oh,
Like
really?
there's too many people on the freeway. What are all these people doing out here? And the older I get, the crotchetier I get. But like, was there a moment when like, was it a real storybook? I'm leaving home now. You've got your guitar in one hand. Your parents are at the front door. The dogs are in the driveway. How'd that go? How'd that exit go?
actually I don't even remember. I guess I was leaving for Hollywood Week, and I literally didn't even pack enough clothes in my suitcase because they said you will potentially stay until it was January 21st. They said you will potentially stay until March 30th or
Whoa,
something.
that's weird.
And I was like, there's no way I'm going to stay that long. I'm not packing that many clothes. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
It's also stressful as a female. Like, good Lord, I don't have that
know.
many
And
outfits.
I was like, there's no way I'm staying that long, so I didn't even pack enough clothes.
Yeah.
And then I kept getting
2 weeks
through.
of underwear most.
I
But come on,
know.
man.
I kept
There's only
getting
so much
through.
clothes we have.
I kept getting through all the rounds, and then I was like, okay, I didn't pack enough clothes, so I had to go shopping. And
That's kind of fun, though.
Yeah, it was, but no, there was never really a like, okay, goodbye moment.
No big
My
send
stuff's-
off.
Yeah.
My stuff's
Packed
still
lunch.
all at my parents' house,
Okay.
and I guess I never realized I was like gonna be leaving for that long.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Maybe
I
that's a
thought-
good thing, though, in the back of your mind. Like, as if you hype yourself up too much, it could be the opposite.
That's exactly why I don't, because I'm so afraid of being disappointed. There's so many times in life, especially in this business, you get your hopes up for something, or, so many like things fall through. And,
Yeah.
it happened even before the show. So it's like, I don't like to get my hopes up for things.
Yeah, I get it, though. It's almost a safer place to be.
Yeah.
As long as you just keep practicing what you love music, you're obviously successful, but now you're going to define your success in other ways. You're just going to keep doing what you're doing. And I think that's awesome. And you're only 21, so you've got years to figure that crap out.
Yeah.
It's too late for us. So
Don't
You
loop
still-
me into your sad life. Have you always been a performer? Like from the time you were a little girl?
I always was really attention seeking when I was like 5.
Okay.
I was like, but like, I mean, I guess I remember when I was in like 3rd grade, every little girl says, what do you want to be when you get older? I want to be
Right.
a singer. Everybody says that. And so I think that's, what I said too, but that's not going to happen. And,
cut forward to
and then
now.
I grew up and I was, my dad's always been in bands and, so we
Okay.
always had music in the family.
Sure.
And they had bought me a guitar for my birthday in like 3rd grade. And of course I picked it up for a day and was like, this is too hard. Put it back.
Bye.
And then when I was like 14, I thought I wanted to learn The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert. And I was like, picked up the guitar and I learned every other song except that song. And so then I just started playing and was playing on sidewalks for 2 people and then was playing in coffee shops for 3 people, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think is so hard.
And then, yeah.
Bigger crowds, it's actually, in my opinion, probably a little easier. It's when there's 5 people and you can see 2 of them looking out the window, the other 3 on their phone.
That's true. But also, I kind of miss it a little bit. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm so grateful for where I'm at, but when I was playing in those coffee shops, I could play whatever I wanted to, and like no one really cared.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like me practicing.
You could do a busking thing. You know how people just show up and then
I
they
know.
just, or maybe you could even go back to Iowa and just
Yeah.
impromptu on your own time.
I would love to.
That might be kind of fun. It keeps it fresh for an artist too. You know, you always need to feel like you have some control or at least some spontaneity. And with your life being so planned, I can see why that would be like fun. Like Lady Gaga did the dive bar tour a couple years ago, and
really?
even though it was still huge, she performed in dive bars. I was like, that is so cool.
That is cool.
She could sell out a stadium, but people are 150 people in a bar.
That's
Awesome.
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who knows?
When you go home, like, are your friends cool or do they lose their minds now? Like, you show up at a
no.
house party and there's a microphone out there. Hey, so we thought since you were here, does that ever happen?
No, I mean, when I'm home, I really just like to do nothing. And
But I'm
spend time
saying,
with
are
my
people
family.
knocking on your door? Meet my kid.
At first, they were.
Yeah.
At first, you know what's funny is people will come up to me and ask for a picture, which is fine. But they'll say, my kid wants a picture.
Mm-hmm.
Really, though, the parent just wants to post it for clout because the kid will come up to me, and this actually happened the other day. The mom's like, do you know who this is? And she was like, no. And the kid had no idea and, like, didn't want to take the picture, like,
Right.
ran away. I was like, your kid doesn't even want this picture. Just say you want a picture.
I know they feel guilty. They're like, maybe if I use my kid.
Yeah.
Any
be
piece
cute.
of advice if I'm a 14-year-old with a guitar and I'm thinking about picking it up and starting this thing? From what you know then to what you know now, having been through the machine, through the process.
I would say just do it.
Yeah.
You know, Nike.
There it is.
I'm kidding. I would say do it. You know, what do you got to lose? And, you know, I heard a million no's before I finally, you know, I thought American Idol was going to be a no too. I was just kind of used to it.
Yeah.
So I was like, what have I got to lose?
Cool.
And yeah,
And here we are.
I took a chance. So
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to play a song. You're going to do Made You Miss?
yeah. That's
Here we
cool.
go.
Ready when you are.